My name is Eric Keiles. I've been an entrepreneur for 27 years and over 5 different businesses. My current business is Square 2 Marketing. It's about 11 years old, located in Philadelphia, and we specialize in inbound marketing. One of the things that I've lived by throughout the entire entrepreneurial career I've enjoyed is the phrase strategy before tactics. And simply that means that having a plan before you dive right in is really essential. Many people come to my firm, for example, and they say, build me a website. And I say, no problem. What would you like it to say? And there's usually a pause there because they hadn't thought out what the message is and what the story is. And just like if I gave you all the ingredients for a chocolate cake, but I didn't give you the recipe, we're not quite sure how that's going to come out. But if I give you the recipe, and even if you don't know how to cook, the chances are if you follow the recipe, you're going to get a nice cake. And it's the same thing with life, business in general. You got to have a plan first. So we really emphasize strategy before tactics. Every time I personally have jumped into something without having a plan, didn't go exactly the way I'd wanted to. So that's kind of the way I lived my entrepreneurial career. Well, in life, there's always going to be setbacks and failure. In my view, it's not what happens, but how you deal with that. Your response to that, your reaction is so much more important than what happens because challenges are going to come up and how you deal with it is usually the secret to success. I try to put everything in perspective. You know, if I'm at work and a customer is not happy or something happens with a team member, those are all small potatoes compared to the bigger things in life like health, happiness, family, and things like that. So I try to pause and say, is this really as dramatic as it might appear, or is this something that can be handled in the normal course of business? Well, my wife will tell you that I have a man crush on Ben Franklin. And even though he hasn't been around for about 300 years, he's my man. And being that I'm from Philadelphia and I walk the streets that he walked every day, he really made a big influence on me specifically. He did so many things in his career, and I can only aspire to do 1/10 of what he did to be a success. Well, there's beer is a sign that God loves us. That's always my favorite Ben Franklin quote. But there are so many. I mean, I'm not one that spews out quotes per se, but more of living in his shadow of what he did so that I can compare myself. I often think at the end of the day where I'm so exhausted because I did a couple of things, man, this guy invented 20 different things, started the free library, the streets department, the University of Pennsylvania, and here I am tired after a few hours of work. So more about thinking about how his behavior was, not exactly what he said.
Right now.
Well, there's several there right now, and I would say that several books in my career have made quite an impact on me. The Purple Cow by Seth Godin, about how you can differentiate your company from others, is obviously one of my favorites. My business, Square 2 Marketing, focuses on strategic differentiation for our clients, and that obviously is something I quote or live by every day. Other books, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber is one of my favorites. You know, you can't be good at everything. The entrepreneurial myth says that you got to be good at everything or you can't. That's a great one. And currently I'm reading some material by Ben Horowitz, who's a VC, who is about leadership, and I'm trying to be a better leader and separate leadership from management. I would give an up-and-coming entrepreneur that there's a smattering of luck in there, but it really is hard work and planning. You know, if you have a solid plan and you keep focused on that and executing that, that's really the key. About 5 or 6 years ago, I immersed myself in the Rockefeller Habits, which is a strategic planning by Vern Harnish, who founded EO. And once I got organized with exactly what my vision is and how do I create a plan there, now I'm not distracted by all those little shiny objects. I keep to my plan, and that would be the advice that I would give to a new entrepreneur. Stay focused. I was all over the place in the beginning of my career, trying different things and starting different businesses, and they would fail and I'd start over. And if I would just stick to one, focus on it, and put all my energy into making that one successful, I would have been a much happier guy today. Not that I'm not happy, but you know.